भगवान श्री योगी राम सूरत कुमार की योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, जय गुरु राय।
योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, जय गुरु राय।
योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, जय गुरु राय।
योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, जय गुरु राय।
राम 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 योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, जय गुरु राय। योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, जय गुरु राय।
योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, जय गुरु राय।
राम 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 योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, जय गुरु राय। योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, जय गुरु राय।
योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, योगी राम सूरत कुमार, जय गुरु राय।
राम 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 രാമ 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 യോഗിരാം സുരത്കുമാർ യോഗിരാം സുരത്കുമാർ യോഗിരാം സുരത്കുമാർ ജയ ഗുരുരായ യോഗിരാം സുരത്കുമാർ യോഗിരാം സുരത്കുമാർ യോഗിരാം സുരത്കുമാർ ജയ ഗുരുരായ രാമ 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 യോഗിരാം സുരത്കുമാർ യോഗിരാം സുരത്കുമാർ യോഗിരാം സുരത്കുമാർ ജയ ഗുരുരായ യോഗിരാം സുരത്കുമാർ യോഗിരാം സുരത്കുമാർ യോഗിരാം സുരത്കുമാർ ജയ ഗുരുരായ രാമ 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 യോഗിരാം സുരത്കുമാർ യോഗിരാം സുരത്കുമാർ യോഗിരാം സുരത്കുമാർ ജയ ഗുരുരായ യോഗിരാം സുരത്കുമാർ യോഗിരാം സുരത്കുമാർ യോഗിരാം സുരത്കുമാർ ജയ ഗുരുരായ രാമ 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 சுரத்குமார் யோகிராம் சுரத்குமார் ஜெய குரு ராய योगिराम सुरतकुमार जय गुरु राय राम 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 योगिराम सुरतकुमार योगिराम सुरतकुमार योगिराम सुरतकुमार जय गुरु राय योगिराम सुरतकुमार योगिराम सुरतकुमार योगिराम सुरतकुमार जय गुरु राय राम 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 योगिराम सुरतकुमार योगिराम सुरतकुमार योगिराम सुरतकुमार जय गुरु राय योगिराम सुरतकुमार योगिराम सुरतकुमार योगिराम सुरतकुमार जय गुरु राय राम 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 योगीराम सूरत कुमार योगीराम सूरत कुमार योगीराम सूरत कुमार जय गुरु राय Surat Kumar, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Surat Kumar, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Yogi Ram Surat Kumar, Jaya Guru Raya. Rama 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 भगवान श्री योगी राम सूरत कुमार की जय। सर्वं योगी राम सूरत कुमारार्पणमस्तु। With grateful pranams, for this great fortune, we have offered his Nama lotuses at the lotus feet of Bhagavan. Bhagavan is here in the Archavatara Murti. There are many temples in Tamil Nadu for Yogi Ram Surat Kumar Bhagavan. Here is one story where it becomes very clear that the Murti of Bhagwan is vibrantly alive and is noticing everything around, and if necessary would point out in some way or the other. So we should always remember that Bhagwan is truly vibrantly alive in the Murti in front of us. In Shivakasi, Shri Kumaravel and Aishwarya, they are running a temple there for Bhagwan Shri Yogi Ram Sarat Kumar, and they are running it very well. They keep up the live spiritual atmosphere there, and Bhagwan's grace is very active. There have been many, many experiences shared by people, the devotees who visit there. They were here yesterday and today morning, and Aishwarya told me an unbelievable story. A story is not just an imagined story, it's a story of what truly happened. When a happening is narrated in a certain way, it could be called a story because of its structure. She said that she was always longing for Bhagwan to talk to her. She thought that there were other people who were pure, very devoted to Bhagwan, and Bhagwan would talk to them only. Now Bhagwan is Archavatara Murti, and she, of course, is a householder with a husband and children. And she was thinking, look, I am caught in the net of Maya. This binding to this life of a householder. And how will Bhagwan talk to me? I am not pure enough. I don't deserve this fortune. But you see, she does everything to Bhagwan there in the temple. She does seva continuously, and so does her husband Kumaravel, very, very devoted to Bhagwan and devoted, dedicated to the seva of Bhagwan. And they are doing it all the time, for years now, under the guidance of Shri Muralidhara Swamiji. She said, there is a boy from Gopakutiram who would come to her, their temple, and help her with the work there, with the seva there. Most of the time she and the boy alone would be there. And the boy, of course, knows cooking. He can do, he's very good at making prasad. He also knows how to string the flowers. He would do the kolam. In fact, every little service or big, he's good at. And he has been helping her so much. And in the afternoon, they would give him the lunch prasad from their house. She said one day during this corona time, she was a little tired and then she fell asleep in the afternoon and she forgot to bring the lunch prasad for him. And the boy, of course, would not talk about it to anybody. He just stayed put, busy himself with the service there. At about 4 o'clock she came, completely forgot that she did not feed him that afternoon. She did not give him the lunch. And she started to prepare for the puja. And this boy was, as usual, busy stringing the flowers, sitting in a corner. But she felt something. The boy's countenance The expression on the face was not as usual. There was something lacking in it. He looked a little tired. There was something about him that made her think, and yet she could not put her finger onto anything that could have possibly happened there to make him so. So completely unaware, she began the preparations for the puja, and then she started. This 108 Ashtotra Sathanama Vali, written by Shri Muralidhara Swamiji, which is what they have been using for puja for years now. And she started to do the puja. We must remember at this time that she always longed for Bhagwan to talk to her, that she so much wanted some words from Bhagwan which she never got. And she used to think that probably she didn't deserve such direct wording from Bhagwan, and that's why she could never talk to him, or he could never talk to her the way he did to other people. What did she mean by that? There have been reports from the devotees that Bhagwan appeared here, Bhagwan appeared there, Bhagwan said this, Bhagwan said that. In my dream, Bhagwan came and said this. And sometimes, in person also, Bhagwan came and asked for this. Now and then, such reports come from some devotees. And that's why she began to think that Bhagwan would not talk to her because she didn't deserve this honor, this blessing from him. So now that day she started, she was doing this Namavali puja, she was offering flowers and was reciting the Namavali while doing it. She came to the 102nd Nama. She offered the flowers, and again the thought came to her that the boy did not look well, he looked very tired, something was wrong somewhere. And suddenly she heard the voice of Bhagwan. Bhagwan said, "It's all very well that you are doing the Ashtotra Sata Puja, but it's not important. You see, that boy did not eat this afternoon. You did not give him food. That is more important than this." She says, I kept on asking her, did he really talk? Was it his voice? Did he talk in Tamil? Did the Murti, opened his lips and talked? She said, no, Ma, I heard the voice of Bhagwan saying this very distinctly, that this Ashtotra, this puja, is all very well, but it's not important. That boy has not eaten this afternoon. You did not give him food. That is more important than this. She was stunned. She was trembling. She almost stopped the puja. She could not take the flower again in her hand for the 103rd Nama. She just looked up, completely overwhelmed. And then the boy who was sitting behind her, stringing the flowers, he looked up and he said, Amma, have you forgotten the 103rd Nama? Why did you stop this puja all of a sudden? Shall I recite it? And that's when she came back to the puja again. She realized that she had stopped it. And then she continued the puja. She completed everything, and by then it was 6 o'clock. And then she rushed to him. She asked him, what is it? Did you eat this afternoon? No, Amma, you did not give me food this afternoon. Now once again she was taken aback. She realized that Bhagavan did truly say that to her. And then she rushed again to give him food. She says, that is when I realized that Bhagavan, Archavatara Murti, is not only alive, he is noticing every detail that's going on around. To point out what I had forgotten, to point out my lapse. So beware, wherever Bhagavan's temple is, Bhagavan is noticing everything, everyone around. Whatever is happening, he knows. And I'm sure if there is any lapse, he would definitely point it out somewhere or the other. It is not that Aishwarya did it deliberately or something. It was Corona period and she was coming out of all that. She was tired herself and she fell asleep. It just happened. The boy could have told her. She asked him, why, if you did not eat? You could have told me. But he kept quiet. He must have felt shy or hesitant. But it goes to point out that we should be very, very careful in our service to Bhagavan, and that Bhagavan does notice every detail around, and if necessary would point out himself. And she says, what's more, I thought I'm not qualified enough to get him to talk to her, but that day it happened specifically. It's as though Bhagavan combined the two, her longing to hear his voice, to hear him talk to her, and the detail that she missed out. So let us remember this, that Bhagavan, I have often said, the Murti here is not a statue. Bhagavan himself had said, do not think it's a statue of this beggar. It is my Father himself, vibrantly alive and present. And that even the expressions on his face would change according to the atmosphere around. We shall now offer our today's prayer. I'm sure Bhagavan is hearing our every prayer, everybody's every prayer, and he would suitably answer them in time when he chooses. Until then, we should go on chanting his name and praying and praying. Bhagavan, we beg you again and again and again, several times, for your immediate divine intervention to bring forth a dharmic normalcy to the world in all aspects of life. For there is so much of violence today, killer competition, growing misunderstanding, growing enmity between groups and groups, even between religions and religion, between countries and countries. Now there is war going on, and all that goes with the war is also going on. Not to mention the violence of nature. Bhagavan, only you can set it right. By your boundless compassion and grace, we beg you to uproot all the negativities of the human mind that are responsible for today's world, the unhealthy atmosphere that seems to be prevailing. We also beg you to reach out to all those people who have been stranded in different places for different reasons, helpless and protectionless. We beg you to do the needful for them, to give them help and protection. We also beg you, for the sake of all those unselfish people, the sevaks who have been doing the seva for the sake of the others, from aspersion, casting aspersion, from criticism and the like. We beg you again to promote the economy of the country and support all the steps taken towards that. And Bhagavan, as you have said repeatedly, that India would progress to its peak glory in all fields of activity, which include science, technology, industry, arts, and culture, that it would one day become the world teacher and guide other countries in the path of Dharma. We beg you to promote this so that it happens sooner than later. And we also pray and pray in all earnestness and sincerity for the unbroken remembrance of your Leelas and unceasing chanting of your powerful Nam. We also seek your blessings to be sattvic instruments in your hands, because all of us are only instruments from the beginning to the end, right from the moment you are born out of the womb of your mother. Everything, because Bhagavan says, Father alone exists. There is nothing else, no one else. So it is He who has become all. He has become the entire creation. And it is He who is activating the creation. So everyone is only a puppet in His hand. And it is He, the puppeteer, the divine puppeteer, the string puller of the puppets. He not only pulls the strings, He also speaks. He is the maker of the scripts that we all speak. So everyone is only an instrument, but we could be evil instruments in His hands. We could be tamasic instruments in His hands. But we beg you, Bhagavan, we beg and pray that we should be sattvic instruments in your hands. We don't want to be Duryodhanas and Kamsas. And please bless us to run our everyday life as an offering to you. And also give us blessings so that we are not caught by the temptations of Maya. We seek that ultimate grace for that ultimate state of being, the state of bliss, but then we need to be purified, and we take refuge in your ceaseless Nama chanting and doing the service, be it small or big, with the joy of service, without jealousy or competition or grumbling, and that in the spirit of surrender to you. And also the practice of acceptance of all that life brings to us as a definite blessing from you, happening for the sake of our spiritual growth, for our greater good, for our closer kinship with you. Then we would be able to see your vibrant, pulsating, living presence in everything everywhere. And we also beg you to bless us to be able to see your sankalpa, your will behind all the happenings of the world. And Bhagavan, we beg you to bless us, to bestow that grace which would make it possible for us to detect that hidden grace even in the most disastrous sufferings of life. The sufferings come not only because of our past karmas, it is only when everything is cut off from us, everything that we think is security. We think relatives, our own family is security, relatives are security, friends are security, money is security, job is security. Now at one point, when we are so busy with life, thinking, with the illusion of the securities, God would cut off everything, leave you helpless until you realize that He is the only true security of life. So sometimes it happens that we feel the abject dejection in life. And we feel that God has also given us up. He has singled us out for a terrible suffering because He doesn't care. But then our Bhagavan, so compassionate, so gracious, will pull us back to Him and convert all the difficulties into blessings, especially for those who do seva to Him. Bhagavan, we beg you to bless us to be grateful to you even for the adversities of life. And we seek your blessings for all the species of the cosmos, in whatever state of being, in whatever state of misery they are, to be lifted to a higher plane. And finally, we who have always been seeking only solutions to problems of life, now seek dissolution of complete Maya, for the sake of liberation from the vicious cycle of births and deaths, to be free from the tyranny of ego, the I and mine, so that we be blessed with the eternal life, the immortal life, eternal living and eternal servitude. To you, that supreme power that reigns the whole cosmos. Jai Yogi Ram Sri Kumar.